Sully,
Buttons.
push the button. Yay! Hey folks, it's Ben. I want to do another vacuum video, and this vacuum we got at Christmas time. I actually purchased it from my wife. She's kind of wanted one for a couple years now, but I wasn't sure on it. But you know, the vacuum wars are kind of engaging. There are a lot of off names now. So at Canadian Tire, I was able to find it on Black Friday for a really good price. It's a Roomba 615, and this is more of a review than it is actually an intro, although I'll go over everything in regards to it here. It's a very basic Roomba, which is actually perfect for it. It doesn't have a schedule or anything like that, but it does do two things, essentially. It does a spot clean, and it does a random walk around your house. The unit itself goes for about an hour, 2 hours, an hour and a half or so, vacuuming the floors. And saying it's a vacuum is kind of a misnomer. It isn't quite, but it technically is. How it works is underneath here, we have this little whisk brush that works, and so as it goes down its path, it knocks everything into the center of it. And then we have these brushes that run. There's a mechanical brush here that scoops stuff in, and then as you can see, we've been using it. Another furry, very soft brush here. They kind of agitate anything they're going over and kind of inside the machine. And then there is actually a vacuum. I think I have to press a button to get it out. But it's neat because it's in the dust cup. So this little, if I open up the gate here, might be getting too involved too early, but there's the vacuum motor, and then this is the filter. So it's kind of just a really complex dust cup, essentially. And it gets all the cat fur and any other debris gets in this cup, and this is what you end up having to empty out all the time. The unit mostly rides on two wheels, and it has this little caster wheel that goes around, but that's the basic makeup of the machine. So I mentioned the Roomba has two types of cleaning methods. It has the spot method and then the just wander about your house method. So I'm going to press spot right now, and what it's supposed to do and what it typically does is it just does a circle maybe about 3 feet around, and then it stops, I think. So we'll just press the spot button, and I'll get out of the way, and it should clean this little carpet spot. If you hold it steady, we'll fast forward this. Okay, so that was just the spot, and that's, I guess, if like a plant fell over and there's a bunch of dirt on the ground and things like that. So the carpet's kind of dirty because we left it for the video. Now if I open this up, in that small section of carpet, this is my house in a nutshell. It's all just cat fur and dirt, but it was empty before, and now that's what it found in just this spot of carpet. So it's actually pretty good at cleaning the floors. My wife loves it to death because it gets rid of crumbs. The thing about this machine is that this little brush that goes around here, it goes along walls and just under furniture, and you can release it under the bed, and it just sucks in all the crumbs. So it's fantastic for that. So now we really don't have to vacuum the house, but maybe once a week with the big vacuum that we have, our pet vacuum. But it actually does quite a good job on just getting everything, so we don't have to sweep as much or anything along those lines. So it's actually pretty cool about that. It's counterintuitive for me because I'm a very pattern guy, back and forth type, and this machine is not anywhere near that. It just randomly drives around the house, and eventually, through probability, it will vacuum everything. And so you'll see a speck of dirt, and 15 minutes later, it's still there. It'll go for it and then just randomly turn, but inevitably, by the time it's done, it will have gotten that little speck of dirt. So it does do it just unconventionally. This unit comes with, like you see here, the vacuum itself, and then over here, and in the instructions it says to leave it a wide opening, but we've actually been able to have it live in this little hole, is its charging base. You just set it up against the wall. I guess it sends out a little beacon, and then it will actually back itself onto the station here and allow you to, park itself and charge itself. And they say leave it charged all the time, and then just use it when you need it. So I'm going to go grab it, and I'll show you how it actually docks itself. So we'll put this back against the wall, kind of in a little cubby hole. And what we've done is we'll run it for about an hour, and then you just find it and press the dock button. It will keep vacuuming, but it'll start looking for its dock. So it'll, you know, about 10 minutes or so, we'll actually get into it and actually dock.
But
so
it will dock itself.
It will dock itself. So
if you ignore it,
yeah,
when it's finished.
Exactly. It senses its battery power. And if it starts getting low, it'll seek the dock out on its own. So you could technically, if you knew it would run, press it and leave. What we found is that occasionally if it gets up on an edge or gets a cord stuck in it, if something gets stuck in these little bristles, it'll stop and enunciate what's wrong with it. So it'll say, you know, I'm up on an edge, or I've got something stuck in the bristles or something like that, and you can just service it, put it back down, hit the button, and off it goes again. It's got sensors that prevent it from, we have a stairway. These sensors here are great at keeping it from falling off. It sees the edge and stops, so we've never had it even get close to falling off the edge. The tires are very good at going over all terrain that we've run into. We've got this carpet. Unfortunately for us, this carpet has an edge that likes to peel up a little bit. So a compromise is we've taped it to the floor, and we've got a little bit over there. Worth it though, because it keeps the carpet nice and clean. Let me demo the dock by just pressing dock. And it will, I parked it right in front of it, so that's kind of cheating, but you can watch it kind of zoom in on itself. So when it's done, or when you've asked it, it'll dock itself. Plays a cute little song. And then when you want to get going again, what'll happen is it turns itself off. So you press the green button once and that turns it on, and then you press it again. Just like my little boy loves to do. It'll count off, turn around, and get to work. Its method of operation is to drive along. It can sense things in front of it, but typically it'll just keep going until it bumps into something and then follow it. It'll bump around. It has a dirt sensor, so if it does find a particularly dirty area, it will stop and spin around, but it mostly does this. And I think I have some footage we'll lay in now of it just walking around our house cleaning. So the whole part of a review is, do we like it? And the answer is a resounding yes. I bought the lowest end model because I didn't want to really put a lot of money into it unless we knew we liked it. And it's really awesome, actually. So this unit's new. We're going to run the life out of it for the next couple of years, but then we know moving forward we can get maybe a fancier model that has an automatic schedule or things like that. We do have to pick up things like blankets off the floor. You don't want laying dangling cords around. It will get stuck into the little beater brushes there. So a little quick pickup, and then it can just roam about the entire house for that. Reading online, things that wear out are this little brush here. We've been running it for about 2 months now. We got it for Christmas and it's now mid-February. This brush is starting to wear out, and these wear out as well. They're filter cups, but you can go to Amazon, and for I think it's like 20 or 30 bucks you can get a kit of replacement parts for this as well. So that's pretty awesome. We haven't needed to yet though, but it's definitely been awesome. When we first ran it, we'd have to empty the cup every 10 minutes or so, but if you run it once a day, every day, it gets so that your house is so clean you don't have to clean it as frequently. In fact, we just typically do it once per cycle now that it vacuums all the time. If you want more of a breakdown into how to take all this stuff apart and the motor and things like that, leave me a comment. I'll certainly shoot a video on it. Probably will anyway, but if you ask, I definitely will. And if you have any questions about the unit, if you're having doubts about buying one, don't. They are better than expected, that I thought, for sure. And it's got the big front bumper here and the lights, and I can go park it. And be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. This is on Red Barred Homestead. We do all the cool vacuum and sewing machines and growing and that sort of stuff. But subscribe to our channel, we'd much appreciate it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them, and now you can go away. See you next time.